Hi, I'm Greg Hunter. I was a guest on, the Financial Survival Network with Kerry Lutz, and he did a, much longer interview. But here's just a little piece of that interview.
So, looking at the papers, they're just filled with Petraeus, although nothing about what this guy knows, just what he did outside his marriage. What the heck is going on here?
Well, this is kind of the tale of two stories within the same story. And the real story is we had a U.S. ambassador assassinated in Benghazi, along with 4 other U.S. citizens, a couple of CIA people, and another, embassy personnel. But we had 4 people assassinated, in effect. And there was a live feed into the White House Situation Room, who was watching it. There are rumors and there are reports of that people in high-up places gave the order to stand down. Now, the president said in the debates the buck stops on his desk. Hillary Clinton was trying to fall on her sword for this, but he ended up saying the buck stops on his desk. Did he make that order? But anyway, Petraeus is the head of the CIA, and just to let you know, not a lot came out about Benghazi, and not a lot of speculation or conjecture or stories or whatever. And the Petraeus thing is really on its face. All it is about his lover, who was basically a biographer of a book, who sent some threatening emails to somebody he knew, and they found out he was having an affair on his wife, but they didn't tell the president, because they didn't think the powers, the people investigating the FBI, they didn't think any state secrets were released. He was, sleeping with his biographer. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't really care at all about whether he sleeps with somebody. I mean, somebody in government cheated on their wife? Wow, we'd clear out half of Congress if somebody, wife or spouse, cheated on a spouse in Congress. I mean, that. If it doesn't imperil the United States of America, I don't care. But here is the press, how they're covering it. Look at these headlines. Front page headlines. This is USA Today. Every day. And another day, here's another big, beautiful. Look at this. Full court press. Look at the coverage. They must have 50 people working on this. And remember, this is a guy that just supposedly cheated on his wife and resigned, just a week before he was supposed to testify in front of Congress. Now, this is getting...
Coincidence, huh? Quite a coincidence there, isn't it?
Well, there's more to this now. Okay, but this is the press who's just doing a story about that. We know about what she looks like. We got pictures of her and when she traveled and other email. I mean, every detail about this is coming out, but none of the details and none of the things that we knew as fact came out about the Benghazi thing. And I mean, we had an ambassador assassinated. And then just before he's supposed to testify, he steps down because he cheated on his wife. Really? You step down just because you cheated on your wife? I know she's mad at you, but I'm not. That's none of my business what you do with your wife.
Obviously.
And none of this came out in the mainstream media. Nobody questioned the president. Nobody questioned anything going on. And incidentally, we funded Al-Qaeda and backed, in part, Al-Qaeda to overthrow Libya. There are stories. I wrote a question about the things that weren't talked about in the election, and I put links, and we're doing the same thing in Syria. I mean, who are we going to send in when Al-Qaeda fails? We're going to send in Hamas? I mean, that's the under-art. And they're like, is there Al-Qaeda in Libya? Yet we took them there and dropped them off. It's unbelievable. And that's what the press is telling you. And there's some other big stories about the financial implications as well.
Well, just one thing about that. Obviously, if anyone knows where the bodies are buried in Benghazi, it's Petraeus. And it looks to me like it's part of an organized plot to take him out so that he never testifies before Congress.
In USA Today, they said that he was there a few weeks ahead of time. And now you're starting to see the bluest of blue Democratic senators, Dianne Feinstein, saying, this is troubling. Well, these senators get elected. A third of the Senate gets elected every 2 years. Is she up for election? Is she, going to be on the chopping block? And now that Obama has won, the man of their party, and the Republicans would do the same thing, that now they're saying, well, we need to find out about this. So this is going to get some light shed on it, and it's going to get some light shed on it by prominent Democrats who really have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on this. We have a colossal security breach. The head of the CIA, General Petraeus, and former General Petraeus, who was there reportedly, according to news reports, was in Libya a few weeks ahead of time. You think somebody said, hey, we've been under attack. Hey, we've had this 12-foot hole blown in the wall over here. Hey, we need some extra. And you know what? They had a live feed going into the White House. And, hey, it's one thing if they tried to muster their troops and sent drones. And I think they could have flown a C-130 gunship over in a couple of hours from maybe Aviano Air Force Base or whatever. I'm not a military expert, but we didn't even try. So that's just a little piece of the interview. They turned the tables on me this time, and I was the one being interviewed. But if you'd like to see the entire interview, go to the Financial Survival Network and Kerry Lutz, and you can see it. I'll put the link on my page. Thank you for joining me on USAWatchdog.com.